Do you ever feel like you're walking around with invisible weights on your ankles? Especially when it comes to your relationships or how you truly feel about yourself deep down. It's a feeling many of us know. This sense of being subtly tethered to something we can't quite see. Something that influences our choices, our feelings, and the way we connect with others and with ourselves. This invisible tether, this powerful undercurrent, is something Carl Jung explored with great depth. He called one of the most profound of these influences the mother complex. Now, that term might sound a bit clinical, but at its heart, it's about something deeply human. It's not simply about your relationship with your actual mother, though that's certainly a part of it. It's about the idea of mother that we carry within us, the first blueprint we ever had for love, for safety, for nourishment, and for how to be in the world. This inner imprint shapes us in ways we're often completely unaware of, like unseen chains that can guide or sometimes hold us back. Think of it like this. Our earliest experiences of being cared for, or perhaps not cared for in the ways we needed, create a kind of emotional landscape inside us. If that early relationship was filled with warmth, security, and consistent love, we tend to carry that feeling of safety and inherent worth within us. But if it was more complicated, perhaps inconsistent, overwhelming, or lacking in some fundamental way, that too leaves an imprint. This isn't about blame, not at all. Our mothers, like all of us, were doing the best they could with what they knew and the experiences they themselves had. But the effect of those early dynamics, whether positive or challenging, echoes through our lives. So how do these unseen chains manifest in our adult lives? Well, they can show up in so many different ways, touching nearly every part of who we are. Perhaps you find yourself drawn to the same kind of partner again and again, even if those relationships end up feeling unfulfilling or painful. Or maybe you deeply crave closeness but find yourself pushing it away, fearing engulfment or loss, like a dance you didn't choose. This push and pull in relationships, this seeking for something that feels just out of reach, can often be traced back to those first lessons in connection and safety. Then there's our self-worth. The mother complex can profoundly influence that inner voice, the one that narrates our days. If the early messages were critical, or if love felt conditional, we might carry a harsh inner critic who constantly tells us we're not good enough, not doing enough, not being enough. Or on the other side, perhaps we find it incredibly difficult to nurture ourselves, to give ourselves kindness and rest, because that model wasn't strongly present, or because we learned that our needs came second. Our emotional patterns, too, are often shaped by this early imprinting. Do you find it hard to say no, to set boundaries that protect your energy and your peace? Or perhaps you live with a persistent low hum of anxiety, a sense of not being quite safe in the world, or an old, familiar sadness that you can't quite name. These can be echoes of those early emotional currents, the emotional weather of our childhood home living on within us. Jung spoke about how these complexes, when unexamined, can keep us from truly living our own fullest lives, from becoming the unique individuals we are meant to be. He once said something so insightful: "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." What I believe he means for us here in our everyday lives is that these deep-seated patterns, learned so early on, continue to steer our ship until we bravely, gently turn the light of awareness on them. They feel like fate, like just the way things are for me, but they are often these inherited, unseen chains. So, if we feel the weight of these unseen chains, what can we do? Is it possible to break free, or at least loosen their grip so we can breathe more deeply and live more authentically? The wonderful, hopeful answer is yes, absolutely. This journey of understanding and healing the mother complex isn't about erasing the past or blaming anyone. It's about transforming its power over our present and future. The very first step, and perhaps the most courageous one, is awareness. Just by listening to this, by even considering that these patterns might have deeper roots, you're already beginning. It's like walking into a dimly lit room and slowly, gently turning up the lights. You start to see the outlines of things, the shapes of these influences in your own life. And with that awareness comes the need for profound self-compassion. It's so important to remember that these patterns aren't your fault. You didn't choose them. They were formed in you when you were incredibly young and dependent, doing your best to adapt and survive. So as you begin to notice these things in yourself, try to meet them with kindness, not judgment. Imagine you're speaking to that younger part of yourself who first experienced these things. What would that child need to hear from you now? From there, we can begin to consciously reparent ourselves. This beautiful idea means actively, intentionally giving ourselves the things we might have longed for. We become the gentle, understanding, and consistently loving mother to our own inner child. Learning to set healthy boundaries is another crucial step towards liberation. This can be incredibly challenging if our early experiences taught us that our needs weren't important, or that saying no was unsafe or would lead to disapproval. But reclaiming your no is also reclaiming your yes to yourself, to your own well-being, your own peace. And of course, this inner work can be deepened through practices like journaling, where you can explore these feelings and patterns safely, without judgment. For some, talking with a compassionate therapist can be an incredible support, offering a safe space to unravel these threads with guidance and gain new perspectives. The aim isn't to get rid of the mother complex, because in some ways it's part of our very fabric. It's more like understanding an old, powerful story that has shaped you, and then beginning to write new chapters that are more truly your own, filled with your own choices and your own voice. It's about integrating its lessons, taking its potential strength, and releasing what no longer serves your growth and happiness. This journey of uncovering and understanding the mother complex is a profound act of love towards yourself. It's not always easy, and it takes courage to look at these deeper parts of our experience, but it's a path towards greater freedom, more authentic relationships, and a deeper sense of peace within yourself. It's about untangling those unseen chains, not with force, but with gentle, persistent awareness and enduring kindness. Remember, these imprints are deep, but they are not your unchangeable destiny. You have the power within you to understand them, to heal, and to choose a different way forward, a way that honors who you truly are and who you are becoming. I wonder, as you've been listening, have you noticed any recurring patterns in your own life, or feelings that resonate that you're now feeling curious to explore with a little more gentleness and understanding? Thank you so much for joining me today, for sharing this quiet space of reflection. It truly means the world. Remember, you are more resilient and capable than you often give yourself credit for. Be incredibly gentle with yourself on your journey. Sending you warmth and courage.